I only got Thursday though, so that kind of sucks.
Yeah, I have to move.
Oh wow.
Yay! And of course, it's the one day of the weekend when it's gonna rain.
Of course.
Good thing I hired movers. Hey, by the way, it's episode 26 of the ToonamiGAF podcast.
Woohoo!
So I almost said giant bombcast there.
We could pretend to be them one day if you want.
No, there's no pretending there. How's it going, B-dubs?
Oh, I'm good. You?
Fine. And C Kohler
I'm doing pretty good.
and B-boy 20.
Okay.
He's only okay. Not any better.
That's unfortunate. So how about that JoJo promo, huh?
Oh, they got roundabout.
Yeah, that pretty much settles that debate.
It's going to be everything we ever wanted. Now all they have to do is ignore the opening and just play the ending in its entirety every time. That's all they need to play at the end of every show. Just play roundabout.
No, I need my Sonochino Sadame.
No.
Yes.
You'll give it up. You will surrender it for roundabout.
No.
We need roundabout more.
No.
Yes.
I need both of them.
Prog rock.
Just cancel Gundam.
We'll sacrifice Gundam for it.
I do like the opening though. I mean, like, not as much as how that episode ends, I guess, because I haven't seen the show, but I've seen the openings and the endings, and the opening to the first JoJo season is amazing. Like the animation is off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a modern classic.
They've done a good job with it.
Like the series of manga panels from all of the parts and at the very beginning is like, oh shit!
Yeah, they're doing all of it.
They do like this cool, like it's all in like kind of 3D, but it's cel shaded and it's just
CG
awesome.
animated.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Kamikaze Doge or whatever.
Yeah, kind of reminds me a little bit of like Guilty Gear Xrd,
Yes.
Unfortunately, the Part 4 OPs have all been standard animation, and it's like, aw.
It's depressing.
I mean, they're still pretty good, but
it's not as good.
Yeah, one described it as just another OP mediocre, I guess.
Have you seen the show?
No.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Unless you count the dub testing of Part 3. But that, in regards of animated, adaptation, no.
Adaptation.
There we go.
Otherwise, I've played some JoJo demos, and I'm currently reading the manga. Made it to Part 2. No, Volume 1. Volume 2, Part 1 so far.
Yeah. Have you gotten up to
Midnight Slot? That's as far as I got.
Okay.
So because they used clips from episodes 1 through 8, but not 9, I suspect that we will not get episode 9 until next year.
Oh, really? Oh,
that
makes sense.
Because in other news, they announced a Halloween marathon. It's Gundam for some fucking reason.
Because why is it not One Piece? We're in the middle of freaking. It makes no sense to me.
I guess it's kind of they don't really care. They don't really care.
Yeah. Plus, who knows how long they're gonna have Gundam for? They gotta milk that.
Going by this week's ratings, though.
Yeah.
I honestly think a One Piece marathon might have done better.
So do I. If only because we're up to the good parts.
Yeah, it would have been the right thing to do.
Like, thematically, it would have been awesome, You watch the scary, well, not really scary, the thriller thing of One Piece on Halloween. Not on Halloween, but you get the idea.
We would have gotten to see the Usopp Perona fight again.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Bing! But no, and then now the promo is just going to be like, hey, this Halloween it's Gundam. Instead of, this Halloween, get your
freak on.
Yeah. Scary One Piece.
with a skeleton that has an afro, and
Instead, we're gonna
Sings
get
very well.
Dort.
oh god, wait, we're up to that. Oh god, we're gonna be seeing that shit again.
It's
Oh
the Gundam
man.
marathon is literally going to be the worst parts of the show.
Oh, why would they do that?
Like it'll start off with the "What's a Funeral" episode.
Oh, screw that. I mean, come on. I mean, why can't they just go back and show the good part? You know, before they got into space.
Because
Well, I guess that's possible. We don't know, do we?
No, we do.
they have never done that before.
They should.
And
Yeah.
honestly, the fact that they're showing Gundam instead of One Piece means they just don't care. They have like a rotating list, and it's like, well, it's Gundam's turn.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, they only have it for so long. They got One Piece forever, so you know.
So I'm pretty sure One Punch Man is going to be in that rerun slot.
That would be good.
Yeah, they. Oh no, never mind.
Oh wait, we get the final episode of One Punch Man next week.
Twice.
Yes.
And then
Finally
the week
get to-
after that, I assume it just stays there.
Makes sense. At least we finally get to see Saitama be semi-serious.
Well, before we can talk about One Punch Man, which we all want to talk about, we have to talk
Yes,
about
we-
Dragon Ball Z.
Yay.
Dragon Ball Z episode 88, or Kai, fuck it. What's
Start
the
over.
fucking difference? Dragon Ball Z Kai episode 88, Showdown, Cell versus Goku. They had a Dragon Ball Z fight. Move on.
Yeah, no, they didn't have a Dragon Ball Z fight. They were having a Dragon Ball Z warm up. There's a specific difference between the two.
But it is very played out.
Yeah, it didn't need to take the whole episode.
They managed to fit every single unique attack in the entire series into this one episode.
I don't know. Did they have a special beam cannon?
Yes, he did that.
Okay, he did that. He did Gallic gun.
I mean, at some point, some of these attacks are just also a beam.
Yeah, no, I mean they're mostly beams. He did Gallic gun, Frieza's disc thing that Frieza stole from Krillin.
I mean, you can imagine Krillin just sitting there like, what the
Like bullshit.
It's funny that Krillin's best move people can do better than he can.
Yeah, that is kind of sad. He did Kamehameha. He didn't do close beam.
Oh, that's
He
true.
didn't.
Oh my gosh, I can't. Oh, if he can only do that.
He didn't do close beam. So he didn't do every special move. Close beam was not done. I don't think he solar flare. I don't think he did that.
The fight is missing a very big something by not having close beam.
How can we have a fight without close beam?
Think of the tactical applications.
Seriously, you put Goku in a dress and then he'll be all embarrassed.
Is that how it works? Can you like change people's clothes, or can you only give them clothes?
What's the difference?
No,
You
they
give him.
I mean,
You give him clothes till he can't move anymore because he's got
He
too many
definitely-
clothes on.
he
Oh, wait,
definitely
wait.
changed Gohan's clothes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we know the answer. He changed Gohan's clothes, so yeah, it's
All right,
pretty,
put
pretty
him
much
in a
the
dress.
ultimate clothes technique.
The person you want to put in a dress is Vegeta.
A frilly pink one.
Yes. No, you just want to put him in his pink shirt that says "Dumb Cumster."
They actually had the new episode last week.
I was surprised. I wasn't
Abridged,
expecting
yeah.
it.
No, I don't think anyone was. It was good stuff. They had closed beam and oh god, there's super spoilers I want to mention because it's just such a silly thing that happened. It has nothing to do with the plot or anything like that. Apparently, can I say it or should I not?
What is it about?
It's something Goku's never done.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, I'll tell you later. But it was one of those things. I'm like, Even Vegeta was like, "Are you fucking kidding me with this?"
Oh, are you talking about Super? Yeah, don't say anything about Super.
Yeah, no, I won't say that. It basically confirmed that the Kai version, not that the abridged version of Goku is canon.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, I want to say something about. I just want to talk for a moment about that reporter. That he is the biggest asshole on the show. Like he's worse than Vegeta. Pretty much constantly talking
Someone's worse than
down the
Vegeta.
savior of Earth.
Well, he don't know.
But he doesn't have to be a dick about it. He's like, oh, this weakling.
Counterpoint. How? How does he not?
Well, I mean, like, have an open mind.
I mean, as far as
they look pretty badass. They're freaking jacked.
Well, I mean, as far as he knows, Hercule's like the dude, or Mr. Satan is the dude, and all these guys are just, they're guys that are there.
No, I don't buy it. I mean, yeah, he can love Hercule till the end of time, but you don't see someone jacked like Piccolo and Goku and go, oh, well, these guys are gonna pushovers. You'd be like, well, these guys look promising, but
Well,
he's just a dick.
Well, I mean, Hercule beat guys that looked more jacked than that.
But they're not weak looking.
I know, but Hercule's beaten, like jacked dudes before, So it's one of those things. It's like, as far as he knows, he's standing next to the strongest dude on the planet.
It doesn't have anything to do with Hercule. Hercule couldn't have been there, and this guy would have been like, well, these weaklings are dead. It's like, what?
Well, no, he wouldn't have been like that. Hercule started shit talking him first.
I guess.
So he's like, oh, the boss man says these guys are shit, so they must be shit.
Well,
anyway, the point here is that Mr. Satan sucks.
Yeah.
He's funny, but he's kind of an asshole right
He
now.
serves no purpose in this arc other than to suck.
I'm actually surprised that he and the reporter have both realized already that these Super Saiyans and stuff are strong. Like, I was expecting that to drag out way longer.
You can't deny that. Like, they're sending people flying with just, like, standing there being awesome,
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to be a real jackass not to realize.
Well, he was pretty close.
B-Boy, any thoughts on this episode?
They probably intentionally started the episode off with that recap of one of the wrestlers gyrating on the screen. Or was that actually how it started in the original run?
Either way, they did that on purpose.
Either it has inserted itself into your mind or it has erased itself from our minds.
Either way, it was on purpose.
The show is now also Naruto because everyone can do shadow clones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one does it as good as Piccolo, but Wait, Piccolo's secretly Naruto. Oh, it makes sense now. Everything makes perfect sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Anyway, let's move on to the episode everyone actually wants to talk about. One Punch Man! One Punch Man, episode 11, The Dominator of the Universe. Okay.
Boros is pretty goddamn cool looking, Like,
Yeah, I love his voice.
Oh, it's so good.
It's such a good voice.
Yeah, no, they freaking nailed every part of that. He seems like that dude that's like, if he showed up and Saitama didn't exist, everyone would be screwed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
hopefully there will be Blast.
Well, I mean, I can't see like Tatsumaki like going toe to toe with this guy for very long. Like, he took a punch and he's still standing. Who the hell does that?
Yeah.
I guess we have to rename the show Two Punch Man at the minimum.
Oh, sorry.
Well, no, I mean, he's not being he's still screwing around. He's not being serious.
B-Boy, you wanted to say something?
Not yet.
Okay.
All right, we're just
Okay. The best delivery of okay ever.
okay.
Okay.
Like, he couldn't be bothered. He doesn't care.
Like, the face is perfect.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, oh.
What about that scene where he told him to turn left or turn right and he turned left?
You don't expect that kind of thing from him because normally he's a dummy.
Yeah.
But there he is.
He's like, I'm not that stupid.
He gets this like evil grin.
Like, I'm dumb, but I ain't that dumb.
Like just the slow zoom in on all the corridors. It's like, fuck.
That I think that was they actually used the Murata panel for that.
According to one of the manga, apparently it was actually drawn by a person named something Nomura. I'm trying to look for. Okay, it's Kazuo Nomura.
That
giant
one panel.
labyrinth, and the spaceship appears in the consent of its creator, Kazuo Nomura. Thank you very much.
Oh wow! I completely forgot about that.
So how exactly do you go around drawing something like that? Because it looks simple at first glance, but then you realize you have to like fucking erase 75 billion lines.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine it started off with like just the big ones on the top and went from there.
I would have actually gone from like the bottom up.
But you would have had to do all that erasing.
Yeah, but then it would look more natural
I guess.
and look like it made sense.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's really complicated. Oh, maybe it was a computer thing, and he like on like tracing paper and drew it all on, and then put a big piece of tracing paper over it, and then did that.
Well, he probably drew it by hand, but yeah, maybe he drew it all at once, and then they used like a camera zoom kind of effect on it. Yeah.
Oh no, they use camera zoom effect, of course, but you know.
So we also got the debut of Pink Guy.
Yes, we did.
I don't think he ever got a name, I think. I don't know.
I don't know his name.
Oh, you mean I Want to Go Home guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like the other thing of that episode. I was anticipating how the dub would voice him, even though it's like one line.
Remember, he goes like, "Bye-bye problems."
Oh, that's so oddly cute.
Oh, shit! Yeah, Tatsumaki's like, man, fuck you, I can do shit too.
Yeah, well, actually, her real delivery is just so much better. She's just like, all right, I guess I'll take care of this. And then like sends like 50 bombs up there to destroy the ship, practically. Amazing.
Like, as far as she knows, she's like the strongest person there is.
Well, regardless of if she's stronger than Saitama or not, she's really strong.
Yeah, no.
Like, I mean, I guess we were cheated out of her versus Durgan's Floop.
She would have wrecked his face.
I love that he just straight up went to, I'm gonna throw rocks at you!
It's like, oh, that's cute.
And the name of the attack even was basically just like telekinetic rubble throwing.
It's not even that good an attack.
It's like, fucking really?
Like, who does that work against?
Most people.
I
liked how the Bat Guy got to be the one who discovered like the marble weakness.
Yeah, like it justified his existence, you know?
Yeah. He's got a bat, he breaks marbles with it. Hey, look at that.
The fact that he's an S-class hero who is just a dude with a metal bat is what justifies his existence.
He's not just a dude with a metal bat. He's like a high school gangster with a metal bat.
He's just Josuke with a metal bat.
Yes, he is. He's like what Yusuke would be if he used a metal bat instead of like his fists.
And his name is Metal Bat.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, no one ever said one was very creative when he named his heroes.
Hey, what are you talking about? Don't insult Flashy Flash like that.
What about Dog Watcher Guy?
Watchdog Man.
Watchdog Man. He's dressed as a dog.
And he's like number 5.
And he's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know enough to know this, but so far it just seems like their rankings are just completely arbitrary.
Well, I mean, if they weren't arbitrary, King would be number 1.
That's true. I mean, well, from
Because
what I've heard.
It's because he's the greatest hero of all time. He's the strongest.
You're really building up here. If he comes out, if he's
Oh,
in
yes.
season 2, I guess I'll have to hold you to that.
Listen,
No one can stop. No one can stop the King engine
Okay.
and his special technique. He has a special technique. I swear to God.
All right.
I
No
hope
more,
they
no more,
do.
no more.
I hope they do a good job animating it.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Okay. So everyone fought Melzergard.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Seems kind of weak in hindsight, though. I mean, if all it takes to kill him is just to destroy those little marbles, you think maybe the Earthlings, the heroes on Earth, are just stronger than any other alien opponent that they've conquered.
Seems like it.
It might be that they just got lucky, you know?
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, it wasn't like that those marbles were really hard to find.
Well, it took them a while to find them.
I mean, if no one else had
by a
ever
while,
been...
you mean like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's not a while.
If no one
Well, I mean,
else
how
had
long-
ever been strong enough to destroy a head, then nobody would have ever noticed the marbles.
Well, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if they were strong enough to destroy a head, you know, who's to say that, you know, they were able to do it without taking big damage themselves, you know? Like
Yeah, they
if he
would
had
have
to
gotten
fight,
knocked out.
yeah, like if he had to fight these guys one at a time, he probably would have won. You know,
Yeah.
like they won because they all ganged up on him.
He did say
basically.
something to the effect of like these Earthlings are a bit strong or something to that effect. Like,
Yeah.
So I kind of take it more that
Like-
his,
Like they
his
weren't
weakness-
garbage.
Yeah, his weakness was more vulnerable here because he's never faced opponents that can gang up on him with such power. But ultimately, all it takes is just crushing a little tiny ball, and he's like you kill a head. So I don't know,
Yeah.
kind of a big weakness.
He got less monstrous as they crushed more balls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all get less monstrous as you crush our balls, you know?
He's not so much an alien after all.
Anyway, the episode is basically just that gif of all the rubble flowing past Saitama, just like, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the Gegelin and the Giryugan fight actually happened in the manga. Happened just as Saitama entered Boris's room,
Yeah.
and like all the TV reporting of the outside scenes of both the ship and ground battles is not in the manga. Like it's just brand new stuff, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was intentional to give the opportunity to expand the world and get more used to the characters.
Oh, definitely.
Hammerhead
I mean-
literally just filling out an employment application.
I mean, part of it is also that they had to, extend the episode itself a little bit because, you know, they want to give Saitama's fight, you know, a whole episode. Because it's
Yeah.
basically the best fight in this half of the series.
Yeah, I figure that. It just is. I suppose it can pop up the question about the speculation of what exactly season 2 is going to entail, since half the internet seems worried about it, like because there's apparently not enough content for 12 episodes.
No, I
Or,
think
like,
there's enough for.
It's whether you're talking about Murata or one.
Yeah, I
Or
think
If you're
there's
talking
enough.
about the webcomic with, silly art, then there's more than enough. But if you're talking
Yeah.
about Murata, then he just
No.
went off his own fucking tangent.
Yeah, he's doing some filler for some reason right now. But yeah, I think there's just enough content from the webcomic. You know, like they can do the next arc, they can animate that whole thing.
They would
That's
just
supposed
have to.
And like unprecedented that the anime would actually get past the manga at that point because of the webcomic.
Well, I mean, we've never really been in this sort of situation before, I think, you know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, it's really unusual.
Yeah. So, I mean, nobody really knows, you know, what. Well, I mean, we know that they're doing another season. You know, like they announced it, we have the graphic. It's just
It
that
will
nobody's.
probably be 12 to 13 episodes.
Yeah. And it's just that, you know, we've never really been in this sort of weird situation before where they adapted the adaptation of the original, you know? Normally it's like if a book is written, they'll adapt the book and they'll have, the manga going on at the same time, but the anime won't give a shit about, how fast or slow that's going.
What if
You
it's a
know?
lot of filler?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's extending it.
No, I
Like
mean, what if the anime is like mostly filler?
They
no,
wouldn't.
there's the next arc is more than long enough to justify 12 episodes.
Some have argued about the Murata's storyboarding being that important that
Well,
I'm
I
not
mean,
sure what that meant. What they meant.
well, no, I mean, a lot of the bigger scenes are sort of based off of, more Murata's art, sort of how he adapted it. But I mean, he can do the storyboarding without having to make it, so detailed.
I think what we'll see when season 2 is that they will have to use the one thing, and you will notice the lack of those Murata shots.
Well, it depends on whether or not they're going to sit him down and tell him, don't worry about how detailed the art is, just give us a storyboard. Like take these big moments and just do sketches for us to work off of. Because that's normally how it works. They'll have like really rough sketches so they can have the shots. And then they'll work off of that and, add the detail and stuff later. So they could very well just, go to him and say, hey, just do what you would normally do in this situation. Don't worry about being perfect. Just give us an idea of what it looks like.
Yeah, there are actually some shots in the manga that never really was that detailed in the anime, like the spaceship when Saitama pops up from the HQ. Like in the manga, it's just one big epic scope, but in the
Yeah.
anime, it was like it's kind of zoomed in, then starts kind of slowly zooming out, then just quickly comes to Saitama on the
Or
roof,
like,
and starts leaping. It was like a lot less stellar. So
right, like with the meteor, when he jumps up and punches the meteor, when they first discovered it, it sort of, it zoomed all the way out in the Murata version, but the one version, I don't think it had that. You know?
I haven't read either version.
yeah, yeah. There's also the factor in that they're probably going to use some made-up scenes to extend certain episodes, which, in a way, could be beneficial of also fleshing out the One Punch Man world, rather than
Well, I mean,
potentially enhancing or enriching it further, rather than worrying about these deadlines of this ratio of this one-on-one ratio adaptation for the source
yeah.
material.
Well, I mean, even the source materials does, from this point start to branch out a bit and incorporate more of that stuff anyway. You know? Like
Okay.
it'll have bits. We'll see, the genius and his takoyaki stand at some point, and a lot of that stuff is canon. It just was brought in earlier than it used to be. Well, than it originally was.
Yeah, there's also the bonus chapters, or I guess what they perceive that or classified as in the Western release of the manga. So, but maybe they able to
Yeah.
pepper them in that are part of some major story arc here and there, help extend them episodes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how much of that they're going to need to do because the next arc is pretty, bulky on its own. I think in terms of how one did it, the next arc is about as long as the previous arcs were, like put together. Like give or take a couple of chapters, I think. I don't know, I'd have to go look it up, but it is a pretty girthy thing.
Okay.
I guess Mob Psycho kind of shows that. I mean, they can adapt one's web comic directly.
Right. Well, no, I mean, Mob Psycho is actually a Jump thing.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's an actual manga this time.
Oh,
Yeah.
but redrawn, or he's still doing the art?
No,
No,
he does the whole thing from scratch.
Okay,
Like
is it done in that style, or is it done in a better style?
it's not done in like the one webcomic style. he has a more detailed version. He does,
Oh, okay.
but it's still, generally the same thing. It's just a way more detailed than the webcomic thing. Like the webcomic thing is basically doodles. This is scribbles.
Okay.
It's just funny because the anime really, kind of in a way, like really creates kind of its own style with one's work, one's drawing, which is pretty stellar. That what is, I guess, perceived as inadequate skills is now amplified to like, a unique perspective of how you
Right.
create a world, which I think is pretty fun.
Well, I mean, part of it is like his style is so like I want to say undetailed that they can afford to do like the crazy animations that they do, a little cheaper than they normally would. Because like if you go back and you see like One Piece or Naruto or really anything, and you look at the character models and stuff during those moments of crazy animation, they get really simple and pulled back, and there's not a whole lot of detail. But with Mob Psycho, it's not really a problem where the characters are overly detailed. They're just they're very simplistic in the first place, so they don't have to worry about going off model or anything.
Something we didn't mention in the news segment was there was this tweet from DeMarco that was kind of vague, but he's saying,
right, yeah.
He's like, if only you guys knew what the big plans we've got planned for Toonami in the future, which is, he said that before.
It could mean a whole lot of things. It could mean, hey, we're going to simul-dub Attack on Titan.
Yeah, true. But for what it's worth, he's been knocking it out of the park recently. And so I'm kind of thinking, there's some chances here.
3.
Maybe, maybe Mob Psycho, maybe One Punch Man season 2 could be a simulcast. I mean,
Mob Psycho, I guess, I don't know how huge that would be, because Mob Psycho is amazing, but it hasn't reached the gigantic levels of popularity that One Punch Man has.
Right. I mean, One Punch Man is sort of feeding, at least in the US and the West, is sort of feeding off the, the Marvel and the DC superhero boom. Like it's it's a subversion of that, but it's still feeding off that general sentiment.
Obviously, and so is My Hero Academia, which is also another thing he could be talking about.
But the thing is, I don't think he's talking about that sort of thing.
I think he's talking about a final season of Bleach.
Oh God, please no! I don't want to die.
You can't deny the possibility.
We can't deny the possibility, but the way he put it, it just feels like they're planning more original stuff, like stuff they would pay for, like Samurai Jack or FLC or Fooly Cooly or.
You could totally be right. I take it the other way though. I feel like it's more likely he just closed a deal and he can't wait to share it with people, but he can't talk about it. So
he could have just closed, the deal to fund Big O season 3 for all we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we look at sort of what the schedule looks like for the next. Where's he going to find the room to put anything at this point?
Well, drop Gundam because it sucks.
Yeah, but at that point, Samurai Jack comes in.
Or because the ratings suck. Let's be frank.
I will say that he'll probably hold out on that, though, because he so wants Gundam to be on the block.
Yeah, we all want a good Gundam show. We just don't have one right now.
Yeah, and I think I'm still holding out for this to get better. I know we're about to talk about it here, and we're gonna rag on it hard here in about a minute, but it is. I guess I'm hoping it gets good again.
It deserves to be a better show than it is, and I'll go into why later on. But in terms of where the block is right now, we know what's replacing Gundam already, and it's Samurai Jack.
Well, we don't know that, but it's very likely.
We know Samurai Jack is coming next year. We know that it's not the JoJo is going to be going on for a long while. Hunter x Hunter is going to be sticking around for a while. The only spot Samurai Jack can go into, unless they want to bring back 1130, is
which they could for Samurai Jack.
They could. I've made that argument before, but
if it led into Attack on Titan, that could be the argument for 1130.
Yeah, that too. But right now, unless they want to expand the block, the only place they can put it is where Gundam is.
Right.
Yeah. It's almost unfortunate that we've got so many long-running shows now.
Yeah, but so many of them are so good that it's.
Yeah, we could have You know,
Like who's
Not
going
a
to
bad thing.
complain that we're going to get about Hunter x Hunter in like a couple weeks? You know, by the time Samurai Jack starts, Hunter x Hunter is going to be in the middle of an amazing arc.
and hey, we could have gotten Fairy Tale.
Oh God,
It
please!
could have been so much worse.
It really could have.
Or it could not so much worse. It could have been bad. Instead, it's
Yeah,
just, well, it's a bunch of good stuff that's around for a long time.
yeah.
Just on a
But
side note, I actually looked at Fairy Tale like a couple days
it's not.
ago, just at the
It's
manga, just
it's
out of
not bad.
curiosity, and it was like the first page was just like I guess the main female character, just sitting there chained up, half naked, and I'm like,
Yeah,
yep,
but
okay, that's what I expected.
that sounds about right. No, but I mean, it's that's the sort of series. It doesn't. It's not bad at all. It's just so formulaic. You can set your watch to the damn thing.
Fairy Tale is if you took the most generic shonen possible and then just kind of made it softcore porn.
And then you did the same plot over and over again,
Like,
and had the same
imagine
timing.
Fairy Tale is what some people accuse One Piece of being when they're wrong.
Yes.
I'll admit, I am a long time ago when I first noticed it, kind of thought it's like from the same author or
Yeah,
same
no.
artist of One Piece.
Yeah.
No,
No. The fairy tale art guy. His art started looking a lot like the One Piece guy. One Piece's art about halfway through Rave Master. You know, like they sort of wound. It's this weird thing, but they sort of wound up in the same place organically almost.
Was Rave
Because if
Master on Toonami?
yeah, it was, but of course the show itself got canceled just as it was getting good. You know, because there was like half of the series is him sort of monkeying about trying to figure out, okay, what exactly do we do with this? How do I do this? And then he's like, oh, I figured it out, and then it's awesome to the end, which depressed me to no end. That
And
never
so he
got
made his
ended.
successful good thing, and then he decided to increase his money by making paper.
Something that could go on forever. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's sort of the thing is Rave Master had like a definite end. You couldn't avoid it. The plot was heading there the whole time. There's no like sidetrack you could have taken. This, it can end whenever. When he gets bored drawing it, that's it. He can end it after pretty much any arc. You know?
Isn't he?
No,
Isn't in like the final arc?
I have no freaking idea. It might be, it might not be. It depends on how much he likes money or whatever, I
And
guess.
hasn't Toriko been like zooming towards its ending for like 2 years now?
Yeah, no, it has. Didn't that guy get like arrested for like child molestation or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it was, but that may or may not be why it's getting canceled.
Anyway, this has been your hourly 15 tangents.
Wow, that was a long tangent.
Yeah, no, but no. Going back to the Toonami thing, like we have so many long running shows. That's why I can't help but think they're announcing something that they're going to put into production. You know?
Hey, you might be right. It's probably too soon to speculate, so we should probably just shelve that conversation for now.
I hope it's not an original thing because we've seen what they do when they try to make an original thing.
Well, I mean, IGPX was a good idea that they tried to make too much like Cowboy Bebop. It should have been more G Gundam and less Cowboy Bebop.
Yes, if they make they should just make G Gundam Season 2.
I'd watch the shit out of that. Like,
well,
God's honest truth.
I'd be for them funding something like they did with Space.
Yeah, exactly.
Space Dandy the movie.
Big O Season 3.
There we go.
I need Big O Season 3.
Like
I heard they had that. They have it planned out. They just need someone to give them the money to pull the trigger on it. Apparently, I read somewhere the only reason they didn't pull the trigger on Big O Season 3 was the Robot Chicken guys threw a bitch fit or something.
Oh, well. Oh, gotta keep the Robot Chicken guys happy.
Yeah, well,
Well, I guess you do.
Well, back then anyway.
I met two of them when I was in San Diego Comic-Con 3
Yeah?
years ago. Seemed like cool folks.
I mean, I don't know the full story. I just remember reading that at some point, offhand.
Could be just
Like,
hearsay.
well, I mean, it looked legit enough. It's just that nobody ever bothered looking into it because, it's Adult Swim. Who's gonna, it's not like it's ABC or something.
Okay, we're still on the tangent.
Still on the tangent.
I'm going to
Okay.
forcibly get us off the tangent by
Thank you.
forcing us to talk about Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Can
Let's
I
just
say
jerk the
one
wheel to the
little
left.
tidbit?
Wait.
Go for it.
This episode starts at the end of of One Punch Man.
Yeah.
One
One
Punch
Punch
Man
Man.
starts at the end of 33 and ends at chapter 34.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So, Iron-Blooded Orphans. Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans Episode 16, Name of Character. I wonder if they
Wait,
die.
that was actually the title was Name of Character?
No, the title is Fumitan Onmos. It's just the name of the character who dies.
It should have been titled Fumitan times 10,000. Because that's how many times
That's all she says.
The ultimate death flag.
Oh God, there have been death flags for Fumitan since like day 2.
Yep.
Like seriously.
Her first notable scene is like, here's a pendant, and she's like,
I will die soon. I mean, it's like we've known she's a traitor, and we've known she's gonna die since like episode 1, scene 5, or whatever the hell it was.
The first time she appears, basically.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a long time coming. They never really bothered trying to hide it all that well.
The melodrama was so forced in that scene. It's like they were going for an Oscar or something. It was just so drawn out.
oh
That's
my
not
God,
how you go for an
Fumitan,
Oscar,
I gave
though.
this brown girl a piece of candy, and then there were brown people everywhere.
Oh God. It's, I'm like,
like, she's been a douche since day 1. She's like,
yeah.
oh, here's this little girl. I hate her.
Well, I mean, it's at the same time, it's also like, at least it wasn't more of the political crap, Like this was, this was like melodrama, and you couldn't cut it with a knife. It was so thick. They were laying it on so thick. But I mean, fuck me. At least it's easier to understand than trying to overlay World War I with the American Revolution.
Hey, look, I mean, I can understand when you want to, fake an attack and try to take out some revolutionaries. I get it. Like, that's politics, I understand.
Yes.
Speaking of the revolutionaries, how is it that the revolutionaries recognize Kudelia immediately, but then other key important characters on the bad guy side don't?
Because they're idiots.
I mean, like, these guys are just like workers, and they know what she looks like.
It's need to know, and the bad guys don't need to know who the person they need to kill is. I don't know.
No, the answer is it's stupidly written. It doesn't make sense that they should recognize her. That's
That's what I've been implying. I was trying not to come out and say that.
Just have to say it, man.
You're right.
Maybe the writer just gave up.
I'm done. I can't do this anymore. We're not even like halfway through the season, and he gave up already. I'm like, what's the rest of it going to look like? Well, she gave up already.
But it's like, okay, I just need to get Fumitan dead, and then we can move on.
It just seems like this crazy thing that, like, why do they make it so overly complicated? Like, this should be a very simple thing. It started off simple. We got it. Oh, okay, this is, American Revolution, the anime. They're fighting over hair gel reserves, like, whatever. It was easily understood. And then they added in, the shifting alliances of World War I.
And then they have, like, the Gallarhorn guys up in space commenting on what's going on, and I don't even know what they're talking about, and I don't.
Nobody understands
What are
what
you
they're
talking
talking about. I mean, that's the problem. Is it's all like they made the political crap way too confusing. They should have just stuck with one thing and kept going with that.
Well,
Instead,
maybe
now
that's
we're
what
all
happens.
lost.
I mean, you guys may know, but maybe what happens is that they start focusing more on the personal stories of the main characters again, because that was good stuff.
Have you ever seen a Gundam before?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
So I guess not.
The,
But
the only Gundam where that ever happens is G Gundam.
okay. Well, they're definitely going to at least touch on it. They must. They're building up these
They have
characters.
to, you know, like they'll get it a little bit, but I mean, it's probably mostly going to be the political crap that nobody understands.
Okay.
Because
Kohler, just go watch G Gundam and Gundam Build Fighters.
I
start
don't
with
know.
G.
I'm not sure I'm into it enough, but
No, G Gundam is the shit. But wait for the HD version because that looks. Oh my god, that looks so sexy.
Oh, you know what? I saw that picture of the remaster. That looks
Yes.
amazing.
Yes, I need that in my life. Like
I
G
legitimately
Gundam,
wonder if they might actually put that on.
they have to. They
You know what? That would be
that
great.
has to be. They have to use the old dub because it was awesome, and then they have to, you know, just dub over the remaster with the old stuff and problem solve. You have the greatest show in the universe.
Guess what? Not a chance.
I know. There's not, but nobody else can be Domon, you know, or Master Asia or any of them.
Well, you're gonna have to live in a world where that's the fact.
I refuse to live in that world. I refuse, damn it.
If G Gundam somehow made it Toonami, how the hell is America gonna handle Master Asia?
Master Asia's a baller.
You don't
He's a
handle
baller
Master
and a shot
Asia.
caller.
Master
He handles
Asia
you.
handles you.
Hell yes. Like, he cuts through, like, robots with his scarf.
Yeah, at that point, why do Gundams exist if you got somebody just able to
Because
destroy anything?
Master's Asia a baller and a shot caller, and like he'd do what he wants. You know, he's one of those guys. He don't care about your fucking rules. He wants to cut a Gundam's head off with his scarf, even though it's normal cloth and he shouldn't be able to. God damn it, he's gonna decapitate every Gundam around him.
So I am one.
Okay, go.
I am kind of wondering about what exactly is the reason why Gundam is the show that seems to be inducing like these big dips in ratings.
I think it's partly because, like, this one in particular is way too convoluted for its own good in terms of actual plot. Like, it started off simple, and when it was simple, when it was about the characters, when they had, you know, the revolution setting, anyone could understand it. You didn't need a flowchart to keep track of anything. It was easy. You got it.
I'd say it's
now I need a flowchart to keep track of everything.
Right. You need a flowchart, and the plot is too convoluted. But I'd say it's about
Yes.
50% that, and the other 50% is
It's
there's
bad.
not enough giant robots. There hasn't been a giant robot for a
Exactly.
couple episodes now.
Where's
Like,
my
I think-
giant robot battle?
Some people appreciate the fact that it's like, hey, look, this giant robot show doesn't feel the need to have giant robot fights every episode.
Yeah, like that's
But-
not a problem.
Unfortunately, the Toonami audience wants giant robot fights every
Well,
episode.
I mean, it's not only that. It's like, so long as it's compelling, I don't think anyone's really going to care. Because we had, you know, a couple of episodes early on where there were no giant robots,
Yeah.
and it still did well.
You're right. I mean,
You
I'm
know?
not saying that it's necessary, but I'm saying if you want
Right.
people to watch the show, you might want to bring them back.
Especially if you're going to take a quality dip this hard.
Yes.
You know? Like, if you're going to focus on the convoluted plot, at least, you know, have the giant robots punch each other in the face while you explain it.
I mean, they have these you know, these interstitials that play when you come back from the commercials, and it's like, hey,
Right.
look at these giant robots fighting, and then you watch the show and they're not there.
That never happens.
And
I mean, that's
probably
more
where
of a
they're-
product of them not. They got lazy with the bumps and they don't update them often enough.
Yeah.
Well, what would they update it with? Fumiton?
I mean,
Yes.
yes.
No,
What else
they
are you
shouldn't do
gonna
that.
update?
That'd be even worse.
I
It'd be
think
truthful.
like one of the bumps would literally be just all the girls just swarming the guy
Oh,
That
God.
might
in the
actually
horn
work.
shit.
That might actually get a couple viewers to stick around to see if it happens.
Yes, it would.
Like,
Yes, it would.
they get you can't tell me they don't get subversive with these shows and some of the bumps, like
No,
the
they
Naruto
do.
bump where he just punches the guy.
Yes. Those actually feel like they are deliberately supposed to make us laugh.
Yeah. No, but I mean, going back to like, you don't need the giant robots at every episode. Like, if you've ever seen like Full Metal Panic, the first season, it's like there's giant robots in like the first 5 minutes, and then you don't see a giant robot fight again for like, what is it, like 11 episodes? And it's, or not 11 episodes, but like 6 or 7 episodes. Like half the friggin' season goes by. You don't see a giant robot, but you're okay with it because the characters are compelling. They're, interesting stuff is happening.
Oh, no. I mean, just to be clear, I'm not saying it needs to be.
No,
that.
I know.
I was just saying, I think that's a reason that people are tuning out. That's all.
No, of course. I'm just saying, like in general, like people will tune in as long as it's good.
Yeah, it's just not like good. That's probably the answer to the question. Is that
they didn't turn in for Black Lagoon.
Well, I mean, Black Lagoon was too real for like this audience. Like everyone's like, "Oh, we want dark and edgy," and then DeMarco's like, "I got you the darkest, edgiest shit there is," and they're like, "We didn't want dark."
No, we were thinking Hellsing.
No, they were like, but we were thinking Bleach. We didn't want like the bastard child of John Woo and Quentin Tarantino. Well, that's what that show was. It was like John Woo and Quentin Tarantino had a baby. That baby grew up and decided he wanted to make an anime about pirates in the South China Sea.
Well, getting back to IBO.
Yes, let's go back.
Let's actually go back to Black Lagoon. Anything but IBO right now.
Well, I just have a couple more notes here. One is Atra continuing to be the most reasonable character on the show. She's
which is surprising.
Decisions. I like her now even more. And then the other thing I'll say is they made that guy at the very end, I guess, be like a real jerk or whatever, because he's like, "You can never trust a woman."
Never.
Huh? Which guy?
The big fat guy.
The ugly one.
Which big fat ugly guy?
You guys not remember this? At the very end of the episode, there's like a secret call between the two lead bad guys.
Oh yeah. Well, not
they're
bad.
Like, you can't trust women.
Huh?
So it's like literally every single person's like, "I'm supporting you, but I'm actually a bad guy behind the scenes."
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's a bad guy behind the scenes. No, but and that's what makes it so goddamn convoluted. Like, okay, no, but what the hell else was it? I was gonna say, shit. Fuck me, I completely forgot. I lost it.
Nah, whatever.
It doesn't matter. It wasn't important. Yeah, but the reason it's so convoluted is because nobody's who they say they are, and we have no idea about anyone's motivations. Like, I still think this whole thing is about hair gel. Like, we haven't been told otherwise so far, so I'm assuming everyone's got that nice hair, they got the hair gel in there. I'm assuming that's what this whole thing is about, because nobody said otherwise. Like, it's now not about unobtainium, it's not about uranium, it's not about gold. It ain't about shit so far, so hair gel. That's what's causing all of this. Unless somebody actually knows what this is all about, then please tell me.
Uncertain on how exactly Cordelia is going to work this all out. Like, what can she actually do? What the actual influences does she have?
She controls the hair gel mines. Like, I'm. Please, somebody correct me. Tell me this isn't all about hair gel.
I can't challenge you on that. And it makes the show better.
I think that's sort of the heart of the problem is we have no idea what's driving any of these conflicts. We don't know what they're fighting over.
I said a couple of episodes ago on this podcast that, like, I'm still not sure what they're going to do when they get to Earth. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have some kind of sit-down, boring couch conversation.
But about what?
To what end?
Exactly. That's the problem. We have no idea what the hell's going on. Like we don't know what anyone's motivation is outside of.
Is she going to get to Earth and barter some kind of thing that suddenly makes Mars free? I mean, that's about the best I can assume. And then they get
that's all I got.
Yeah. What's
And
But I
then
don't know.
and then season 2 is the War of 1812,
Oh,
Trump
God.
card?
But I mean,
aka
nobody.
the war nobody remembers happened.
Yeah,
Nobody remembers what it was about.
it wasn't about anything. It was just we were both being dicks to each other, and they burned down the White House just so they could be dicks. Well, I mean, they ate all the food, then they burned down the White House.
Like the national anthem came out of the most pointless,
No,
like,
that was the revolution.
No, the national anthem. Oh, the Star Spangled Banner came out of War of 1812.
No, that's not right.
No, I think I am correct.
No, hang on, I'm looking this up. All right, let's see. Star Spangled Banner, Wikipedia. It comes from. Oh yeah, no, you're right. The lyrics come from the defense of Fort McHenry. I swear to God, Fort McHenry. M apostrophe Henry. What? Yeah, it was
Fort
a
Milady.
poem. And who comes up with these names?
I feel like
Whatever.
I'm watching IBO now. Can we move on?
Yes, we should move on. We should. This is okay. Oh man.
Desperately.
Oh jeez. Hunter x Hunter.
Thank God.
Hunter x Hunter episode 22, A Dangerous Watchdog. So Gon was like, I'm gonna go talk to that dog, and then he saw the dog and he was like, nope.
He's like, fuck that.
Yeah, that thing looked like it came straight up berserk, personally.
That thing did look like something out of Berserk.
Mickey. That's his name.
I memorized its name.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
And the world's most badass security guard.
Oh, that guy is
amazing.
jacked. And he pushed those 2-ton doors open. I'm like, what?
He's like super buff and he's like a super cool bro to them. And like,
Yeah,
just
he's such a
willing to
bro.
lay his life down. This guy's awesome.
And he's only a fucking janitor.
Yeah,
Like, he don't get paid enough for that shit.
that's what I thought.
I'm
So
like,
they go.
damn, he's just a good dude.
I mean, all he really does is just put bones in the garbage.
I'm
Well, I
amazed
mean,
Intact skeletons straight into the garbage. They even have like a frowny face.
well, he's a janitor. It's his job.
What'd you say, B-boy?
I'm amazed that didn't like become a meme of sorts years ago when they had the Japanese airing, because that's just too fucking hilarious.
No, it is fantastic. It's surprising. Like, I'm gonna just throw your book. Like, how is that not a banned gif? Like, how do we not like put Bish's head on the jacked guy's, body, and have just like the gif end with banned?
I don't
Oh,
think
no,
we ever
that's-
see him put the bones in there on screen, though.
That's
That's
like
disappointing.
perfect picture for like a graveyard response, though.
Exactly.
Well,
Like-
you would have to. What you would have to do is just have Bish's avatar come across the corner with like Mike holding the skeletons.
Yes.
Like they walk in, banned skeleton.
That would be perfect.
If I could be serious for a second, though, I kind of feel like the janitor, I don't think it's just a coincidence that he's so buff. It's probably something to do with like they hire like really strong people to work at their compound or whatever.
No, they explained it. He's got to be able to open the doors, to get inside.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, so, he's got to be able to push open like a friggin' 2-ton door.
Crazy.
Look at that old ass man being able. Like Leorio and Gon and like them motherfuckers couldn't do it.
Batman in a thread had a funny comment. He said, "These assassins are so renowned; they're actual tourist attraction. I mean, what a weird world."
And like they go to like upside down Africa, and then the country itself is like not Switzerland.
They're at Mordor also.
No, it's just one of those things. Like nobody fucks with them because they will straight up murder you.
It's like,
Like-
sure, our house is a tourist attraction.
But yeah,
Fuck
that's
with
what's
us.
so weird is that like, why would there be tourists wanting to go to see the home
Well, I
of a
mean-
bunch of assassins?
Well, I mean, they just pass by, you know? It's like, they don't go inside.
No, I know, but like, I'm assuming the incredibly voluptuous and attractive tour guide in this episode, who was amazing, by the way.
I would go
I
on
would
that tour.
assume she would know enough to know, having been there several
She.
times, that there's a giant killer dog there. You know,
She probably hasn't seen anyone go in,
well, maybe not.
you know? Like,
I
you
don't
don't
think
really...
she's ever going on that tour again.
No,
No, I mean, if she sees the dog, she ain't going back.
Like, what the fuck
I mean,
did that dog even do to them? It's like they walk in, and then 2 seconds later, they're fucking bones.
that was very cartoonish.
it was, but it's also like, holy shit, that dog is fucked up. It just slurped them bones off.
Like it opens its mouth, and it's just like kind of like this alien second mouth that just sucks all your flesh out.
Speaking of food, they also had a nice little nod to Whack-Donald's in there.
Oh,
I always
yeah.
love it when anime shows have their McDonald's
Whack-Donald's.
ripoffs.
Yeah, man, like eating McDonald's while like having a trash
I mean,
can filled with human bones right there.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, everything's
Well, I
all
mean,
jolly.
you know, Hunter
I
Hunter
mean,
is like
isn't that
the opposite
everyone's
of our
McDonald's experience?
I mean, that's what my local McDonald's is like. You know, they got the homeless guy next to the, trash can with the bones in it.
Oh, sorry.
That's like right across the street from where I work.
Oh.
Okay, that was Hunter Hunter.
Next. Yeah.
Naruto Shippuden. Naruto Shippuden, episode 129, Infiltrate the Village Hidden in the Rain, in which we get a deep look at Jiraiya's many fetishes.
He has many fetishes.
He has a frog fetish, he has a vor fetish, he has a tickling fetish. Okay, there you go.
This
No,
has a
that-
cowgirl fetish.
No. Those aren't his fetishes. His fetishes are big boobs. It's that's just the stuff he likes to do to other people.
Uh-huh.
Like he's into chicks that look like, and I'm sure I mentioned this last week, but he's kind of a dumbass because he's like, my life's mission is to get with Tsunade, and it's like, dude, she's throwing herself at you. Like, just get in there. No, but no, instead he goes off. He finds some girl that looks like her, and it's like, yeah, this is what I wanted. I'm like, that's not what you.
The Village Hidden in the Rain is basically just a series of industrial pipes carrying oil.
Yeah, no, pretty much.
And then that's just a city.
Yeah, and it rains a lot.
But we learn that it's raining because pain has the power to make it rain.
Yeah, that's not
In-
too
in-
impressive.
In the literal sense, not in the he's throwing money off the roof sense.
Yes, exactly. Also, there was pain killing infants in this episode,
Oh yes.
so that's kind of
Did we see them bring the dead bodies to him yet?
I don't know.
Wait,
don't remember
what? I completely missed this.
It was
There was a
just
scene where
dialogue.
he killed infants.
What?
I
It was
I know
of, forgot what the character Hanzo.
I know in the manga they bring him dead bodies.
Like, yeah, they say he killed the whole family and everyone he knew and, went kind of like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon on his ass, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just him looking at a wall of fire that talked about his body count. But that's it, as far as I recall.
I like how Hanzo is like this big, important, powerful dude, and then his design is like generic as fuck. It's like,
We know he's a
a
bad
stupid
guy.
mask.
We know he's a bad guy because he's wearing the bad guy robes.
Yeah, and he's got the mask on. Okay, whose dog is that?
Mine.
It wasn't me this week. I just want to point that out. It wasn't me this week.
This week's
No,
dog shenanigans brought to you by B-Boy 20.
no,
And
but I mean,
I never
Like-
realized that Jiraiya had so many weird frog powers.
Well, I mean, that's his thing, you know? Like, his whole
guess.
shtick is, I'm a frog dude.
But he like crawls out of their mouths, and then he can create some kind of place inside a frog that's big enough to
Yeah.
hold people.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird.
Yeah. There's a reason Itachi didn't want to fight him in part 1. You know,
Like frogs.
you don't want to mess with them frog powers. That's the real shit right there.
Like his idea of infiltrating the hidden ring is like, I'm just gonna walk in.
Yeah, it worked, didn't it?
And what
I mean,
about?
they know.
Go ahead.
I mean, they know someone's there. They don't know it's him.
This was a weird episode in tone too, because they have like a weird mix of like it's dark and he's like doing investigating, and then it's got
Tickle
this
torture.
weird comedy with like the tickle
Yeah.
torture.
And the weird pun.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it is a little weird, but
I liked it.
Yeah, no, I liked it. It's just, the tone was like it just sort of swing wildly at times.
Yeah,
You know, just this weird thing. I am looking forward to next week though, because that one is going to be really. I think that's the fight. So.
Yep. I think
Also,
we got a new opening this week too.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Well, it's hard to keep track because
I
yeah,
never play them.
no. No, I do want to point out that Shippuden had almost as many viewers in the demo as Iron Blooded Orphans.
Wow.
just move Iron Blooded Orphans all the way down.
Yeah, move it down below One Piece.
Yes. Where it
Yeah, because at this point really that's a hell of a drop. It's like 400. In 400,000 in general, and then almost 300 in the demo, and
I think if this was like the very beginnings of the block again, then they probably would have moved it down because like Samurai 7 started at the top and then just got bumped down constantly.
again,
Same with
so did
Tenchi.
GPX.
Yeah.
Well, we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that.
No, we do not.
Unless you're Jurati.
Honestly, there's days I think, yeah, okay, I'd rather Tenchi than certain episodes of Naruto or some of the boring episodes.
Oh no! No!
Well, at least we'd have something to complain about.
Yeah,
Well, at least I could get a nice nap and wake up refreshed.
I'd rather
Nah.
laugh my ass off than watch boring Naruto episodes.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's a difference between something being boring and something being so horrible that it's goddamn hilarious. Like I'd rather watch the later.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather be actively offended than just sort of sitting around being bored.
Well,
Did
when
you
we
guys-
do the full 5-year show rankings next year,
We'll talk about it then.
We're gonna fight about that.
Yes, we will.
What did you guys think about the new ending? Because they did air that.
There's like 50 Naruto Shippuden endings, and it's like they're all kind of the same.
Yeah, no, I don't even remember what the hell it was.
Like I can't remember
It
anything
was more
about it.
generic than the beach ending that we have been having.
Oh god, that one was super generic.
Yeah.
Like I can't even be bothered. Or I'm
Like
like,
all
okay.
the Naruto endings, it's always like, here's a song we picked up.
And this is a shame because this is a really good part of the series. Like this stretch of episodes here and after the next arc is, actually really, really good.
At least the opening's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like,
We never see.
I think they should swap them.
the opening and I'd rather see the openings than the endings.
Well, somebody
somebody
tell DeMarco that and see
They
how he reacts.
It's
they
such
probably
a weird thing that they
they
don't.
probably can't though, because they have to show the credits.
Well, they could put the credits over the opening.
Well, they'd have to edit that in, and you think they're going to want to do that work?
Maybe. I don't know. It's probably one of those situations where who is this Viz?
Yeah.
Just gave it to him that way. So
It could be.
Well, no, it all goes back to when they were like, "Hey, we can cut the openings, or we can do X," and then now they're
oh
not
Yeah.
doing
no,
X
that's a
anymore.
different issue. That's a we won't show it at all issue to save
Yeah.
time. I think that the endings having the credits is probably that's how they get it from Viz.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the credits, are usually on the endings.
Well, I guess supposedly segueing into the anticipation of what they're going to do with the openings and endings of JoJo, considering they seem to use the show seems to use licensed music, and
I mean, they're
DeMarco
just
is
gonna.
a music dude. I'm just kind of
They're
wondering if maybe it's a possibility. I guess maybe with I don't know. It's this the season one still connections with Warner Brothers, or is it like they helped license it?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
actually talked a bit about this last week, and we were debating like, are they going to even have runabout or roundabout? But now that they've had it in the
They
promo,
are.
I think it's pretty much a given.
Yeah. I think they'll have it at this point. I mean,
I mean, they'll just do the regular opening and ending cut.
Yeah,
They've-
after the first episode.
they should just cut everyone else's ending and just show roundabout for all of them.
I concur.
Just show roundabout for everyone.
The
Like,
real
do we
crime-
really need the Iron-Blooded Orphans ending?
The
No,
real
just show
crime is
roundabout.
DBZ.
Just show roundabout.
The fact that we have to get the fucking DBZ opening full every week, just
Yeah.
because a few years ago they decided, okay, first show on the block has the full opening. It's like, great, it's always going to be changing because it's 11:30, and then it's like, well, Dragon Ball Z's at the front forever. Fuck you, I guess.
Yep.
DeMarco, 2016.
I suggest a new strategy for DeMarco if he's listening, which he's not, but if he was,
He is.
I would say
Oh,
the
really?
newest show on the block should always be the one with the full opening.
Unless JoJo's there and you have roundabout, then just show roundabout.
Okay.
Okay, so for JoJo always gets full opening, and then if there's not JoJo, then
Then
somebody else.
I don't know. Give it a.
There's no
Hunter.
good answer here, unfortunately.
No, I mean,
There is a good answer. Give it to something other than DBZ.
Yeah, we'll just like cycle it every couple weeks.
Well, yeah, that's
damn.
my point. I think it's the rule being the first show always gets it. I think that's wrong because if you put a long runner in the first slot, then it's never going to change.
Yeah.
And literally a long runner with the same fucking opening
Yeah.
for 100 episodes.
And they just and they all sound horrible. Like, I mean, no offense to the voice actors or anything, but these guys can't sing for shit.
Yeah. I get the impression that they had a fun time making that, but
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
they're not good singers.
Like
Not-
I'm probably worse, like to be completely fair, but just please no
Every-
more.
This sounds like karaoke.
Yeah.
Like if they intercut the VAs having fun singing it with the opening, it might be a little more dynamic. I'd be more willing to put up with it, but it's just the same animation, the whole.
B-boy, I heard you chime in there.
They they did the Japan. Oh yeah, I think we all watched it. One Piece doing the Japanese version of We Are intersecting
Yes.
them voice cast for
They did do that, yeah.
Mhm.
That was actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, on One Piece, I think we're getting pretty close to a new opening on that.
It's not going to be until next year.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Damn.
Jungle P lasts for a while.
I thought we were close. I thought we were like 5 episodes close.
Well, we're
not
close
that
in
close.
One Piece overall terms, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, One Piece goes on forever.
just imagine until we get to We Go, and then it's like, fucking We Go.
Yeah,
Get
I like
off my
Vigo.
screen.
I kind of like it.
We go.
It was even worse when Funimation didn't get the next one, and it's like, I hope
Oh,
you like
God.
We Go again.
Oh, wait, was
That
We Go the... Oh, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one's
it's-
on there forever. I was thinking of a different one, yeah.
Sounds like a sequel to We Are.
It is.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, as someone who's been watching lots of One Piece, and I'm like almost completely caught up with the anime now, it is interesting how they'll have like they'll redo, not really redo, but I guess redo is the only word I can use to describe it, but they'll do openings again that are homages to older openings.
Yeah.
And so they'll either take the song and remix it, or they'll have another opening that's in the same style. Like the current opening that's airing on the current version of the show is actually very similar to the next opening we get after the next one. So they like kind of repeat themselves in weird ways.
Well, I guess we should just talk about One Piece anyway, since we've just started.
I mean,
Good.
there wasn't a lot to talk about with Naruto this week. Next
Except
week is going to be.
He switched bodies.
Yes, he did. No, but next week is going to be the, I think.
I would like to point out, though, it is interesting that Naruto is no longer the most despised show to watch in the current run. Like, I guess in a way, the rules are reversed from a earlier showing, which is Iron-Blooded Orphans. So that's
it's also that Naruto's in a good arc right now.
Hell, it sure beats what came before in the last many months.
I mean, anything would beat that.
Even Dort. Anyway, on to One Piece. One Piece episode 363. Chopper is furious. Yes, he is. Hogback's evil medical practices. I don't think he's ever been this mad.
I didn't know Chopper got mad.
Well, I don't think he hasn't been this mad since Heroic exploded.
Yeah, he was pretty mad then.
Last week on the show, I said that the episode that I had a memory of the episode being better than it was, but when I watched it on Toonami, it wasn't that great. Mm-hmm. I feel like this week was reversed. Like I didn't remember the Hogback episode being that great, but actually watching it on Toonami, I kind of liked it a lot more than I remember.
Yeah. I mean, Chopper was awesome. Robin had some good scenes. Even Sindri went up to another level. She was like, yes.
He's actually a real character now.
Yeah.
I like how Hogback was like, look at the value of human life, lick the floor. And it's like, this is a guy who gets aura to death in JoJo.
Yeah.
Or what? Gungam Gatling in this show?
Yeah. And you're right. What you were saying about Chopper, man. I can't remember the last time he was this mad.
Yeah, it had to be, Hero Look.
Yeah, I think. I mean, but that was really personal, This was just like, I don't think it was. I mean, it was still personal because he looked up to him, but I don't think it was personal in the way that, oh, my dad just got killed in front of me.
Right. But it's just like he's so part of Chopper's character is that he's so committed to protecting life, and then seeing Hogback just basically shit on life, it just drove him crazy.
Yeah.
Shit, man, drive probably some audience members crazy.
Yeah.
The depths the Hogwash was willing to go and state, desire.
Hogwash. He should have called him Hogwash.
So
that would have been awesome.
Sindri died in an quote-unquote accident.
No, I'm pretty sure that was an actual accident.
Well,
no. I think that was an actual accident. I don't think Hogback, killed her.
I mean, you can't tell me he didn't.
No, I can't.
Confirmation in the manga, or
no?
No, but he's just he's really fucking creepy.
Yeah, there's a Sindri on the floor. For kids, right?
Definitely for kids.
Christ on that moment. And I almost feel like they can didn't even want to look at her, seeing her tongue actually connect the floor, because even the Tui was like, let's not go there.
I need to watch that again. I wonder if they edited that or something.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, remember, we saw just straight up Nazi vampire eating baby.
It just
Yeah, we
seemed really
did.
strange that I kind of had a weird memory that you could see it before, but maybe I'm just thinking
I
that.
mean, we also had like Naked Nami for one episode.
Yeah. So we got Oars now finally in the show for reals
Mm-hmm.
and just destroying everything.
That was last week.
No, this week he was destroying, like, remember he was chasing the Straw Hats with the, right?
No,
Oh, damn it.
you
What happened?
watched.
What happened at the end of this episode?
Oars
The only
finally
Oars in this
got
episode
back under
finally
control.
gets
Okay.
back to the freezer.
Sorry, my
That's
bad.
it.
I'll cut this out. I'm thinking ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of like feel like deja vu for Aura, like leaving the castle and then returning. It's like a blur.
Like, frankly, if he you could cut out everything from him leaving the freezer to him coming back, and it wouldn't really change anything. I mean, there are things that have to happen there, though. But
Yeah, like him separating the Straw Hats in the way he did. Like, we need that to happen, and we need Luffy and Moria to be left alone, because he can't fight both of them at once.
Was any of the ores seen from the manga?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, we don't have much to talk about.
no,
Hmm.
they kind of they get rid of Penguin Dog and Diaper Guy in a weird way.
Yeah, it was
That was good.
Like,
somebody that complained about how nerfed Robin is in this episode.
Robin used her
Expecting
brain.
that, but nobody seems to care.
it really is a thing where Robin can either one-shot a guy or just not do anything.
Yeah, because, I mean, with her powers, she can basically, crack a guy's neck in half, from like across a room. So, she's either going to do that or not. Like there's no middle ground with her powers.
Yeah, I guess, though that technique wouldn't have worked very well in this situation.
Because he's got
Can't
no
really
neck.
break the neck of a zombie.
Yeah. But you can shove the salt down.
Yeah. Pretty, just basically tricking Hogback into saying the wrong thing. For the smartest,
works.
for this supposed genius, he's kind of an idiot.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe he kind of made the scene a little bit more convincing if you're somebody who's very familiar with Robin, like way beyond what I've watched in Toonami, that possessed as Zoro possessing zombie with had the blades right next to Robin's neck and now make some warning about she can test her how fast she can disarm him before zombie would cut her head off or whatever. I don't know, it's these little details that I seem to notice in later episodes of Luke Cage where there's this kind of weird distance of distance, timing, who would be where, how fast, reaction timing. Okay, so I'm speaking of the action scene criticism now. Sorry.
Well, one of the things about Robin you have to remember is that she's one of those rare devil fruit users who actually has to do a hand motion to do her move.
Use her powers, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't just happen. She's got to do the thing with her hands, and the petals have to come out, and,
Okay.
So, I mean, that's not a really good reason, but it kind of makes a little sense, I guess.
Anyway, Hogback's gonna get it. He's really gonna get it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they did a good job in this episode of really setting him up to be, because before he was just kind of there, and now it's like you really understand how evil he is.
Tell me about it.
Like, he was just that dude who's, sewed the zombies together before, but now it's like, yeah, no, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I think that's about it.
Yeah, I actually fell asleep around him.
Actually,
Yeah, it was like Naruto actually. So I didn't even watch like the Parasite repeats.
well, nobody did.
The most exciting thing about the Parasite repeats was that like
It's over.
2-minute long, just pure black screen that they aired for some reason.
Oh yeah, what the hell was that about? That just
I don't know.
That was in Naruto.
yeah, that was like the end of
was it in
Naruto.
Naruto? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like just 2-minute long black screen. I think they cut out part of the episode.
No, I think it was just like I think the whole episode was there. What it was is that somebody at Master Control like didn't plan for there to be like a commercial there, and nobody was there to fix it, so it just dead air for like a minute.
I thought my TV cut out. I started changing the channel to see what the hell's going on.
Like they expected there to be a crazy, bizarre, music video there, and there wasn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, like they had planned something, but it didn't follow through. Yeah, I guess with the weirdness of that evening, though, with like especially later on, the whole time move, and then the fact that there were the 3 additional episodes. I guess it's not unreasonable that they kind of wouldn't be prepared for it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff changed.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to normalcy next week.
Man, if as I just posted in the forums, but like if this next week's One Punch Man does not get the highest ratings, I
That's
swear.
fucked up.
It won't.
Ugh.
Dragon Ball Z.
It'll get good ratings though, because the show consistently does.
Yeah, it does.
What? This
Well, you know
next
what, though?
episode is gonna melt out eyeballs, man.
Actually, it will get the best ratings because it's going to air twice.
That's cheating.
Man, America better not disappoint me.
It will. Of course it will. Black Lagoon got horrible ratings. What makes you think this is gonna,
Too real. Man.
I'm still salty about that.
So salty. Anyway, that's about it for episode 26. Thanks,
All right.
BB Boy 20.
No problem.
Thanks, C Kohler.
My pleasure.
And thanks, B-Dubs.
Thank you. Oh, you're
We
welcome.
we should have Seda back next week, finally.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
And Zonic.
Oh god, here we go.
Here we go. Prepare your static fixes, C Kohler.
Or leave them in if they're hilarious.
I didn't watch that show.
This has been the ToonamiGAF podcast. See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.